Good afternoon, Year 9. It is Miss Dooner here, and welcome to your second ASL assembly of summer term 2. I hope you're all well and safe. Our thinking points today come from our assembly last week. Now, if you didn't catch it, it is on our Teams page. It was all about resilience, and I shared with you my journey into running, which some of you found quite funny. So I just wanted you to reflect on, did you manage to show any resilience in the last week? That was my challenge to you. Loads of you did. Loads of you have been starting to get engaged in the live lessons, which I'll talk to you about shortly, and are having to show resilience in those. Some of you are showing resilience in the work that you submit, and also in the competitions that you take part in on our Teams page. Also, which subjects are you proud of your work in this week? Which subjects have you worked particularly hard in? Was it that you took part in a CNAT catch-up or a health and social consolidation video with Miss Blake? Was it that your English work this week for literature revision was really, really strong? Which subjects are you most proud of yourself in this week? And I'd love to hear your ideas for answers for these two. 36 days. You're probably thinking, until what? Well, you should be able to work it out. As of today, there are just 36 days left of summer term 2. That means there are 36 days left of year 9. Now, that isn't a lot, is it? And when you think that that includes weekends, so really not a long amount of time, we need to make sure then that we are thinking about how we can make the most of these 36 days, how we can best prepare while virtual school is active for 36 days before the summer holidays. So it's really, really crucial that we're using every minute that we can. And if you're watching this, you probably do, because this is all that's left of year 9. And once it's done, you can have a lovely summer break and try and make the most of that downtime. So if we can try and push for the last few weeks now, work as hard as we can, it will all pay off with a lovely break at the end of these 36 days. So this number now, 81 days, is for something quite similar but a little bit different. 81 days. It's 81 days until you guys officially become year 10 students. So if the government plans go ahead for students to return in September, which as it stands that's what they're saying, you guys will be coming back to school as a year 10 student in September, and that is in 81 days time. It's not long, is it? Especially when you think that year 10 is going to be one of the most important years of your school life, isn't it? It's the one before the last one, and that last year goes so quick and it ends a little bit early with exams. So year 10 is one of the most important years in the school, and I've always said that, being ASL of year 10 previously. So we've got a lot to think about, haven't we? And I know you guys, if you're watching this, are probably working super hard, and will start year 10 with a really smooth beginning. But if you are listening, if you're a bit worried or you're thinking that you don't feel prepared, then there's some things to think about from this assembly, and obviously you know where I am and where Miss Brown is if you have any concerns. So how are we preparing you for that? Well, you may have seen Miss Pritchard posted a letter for your parents on our Teams page, and I do hope you've shown your parents this letter. If you haven't, it is available for them on the Teams page, and it is posted here too. Now, we have been doing live lessons at Aldersley with year 10 for a couple of weeks now. And a live lesson, as it says in the letter, is a lesson where you can see your teacher on camera, and they can share their PowerPoint with you, and it just has more of a feel of a real life lesson because we can ask you questions, you can hear our voices, and if you don't understand anything or you want to ask us questions, you can do. If we want to check you understand what we're saying and you're listening, we can do. And it's been working really well. So we've decided to roll this out across the school, and already staff have been trialling it with year 9. So I had a lesson 2 days ago with year 9 on Wednesday, and it worked extremely well. I had 10 students online out of 25, which obviously it would be amazing if there was more, but hopefully with more of you hearing about these live lessons, more of you will come on, because I know that those 10 students learnt so much about Sheila's change in an inspector course, and they're now going to be able to go on and answer any question they get on Sheila in an exam. It's the same in other lessons as well. So Miss Hardwick is really proud of her CNAT group. She's able to check in on the coursework progress with her girls in her class, and she's absolutely blown away by what they've told her today. And even as I speak, Miss Blake is currently on a live with her year 9s, helping them understand some key concepts as well. So how do you get involved? It's dead easy. Your teachers will only be going live during your normal timetabled lesson slots. So say you have maths on a Friday morning, that's when they'll be doing their lives. It won't be outside of those times. And all you have to do is go onto the class, and when the teacher's going live, they will let you know. It might be they schedule it, it might be that it's on the assignment tab, they say see you on here at 10 AM for example. And all you have to do is press the join button. Once you click join, it'll give you an option that you can see just under the image of join there, where you have the option of turning your camera on or off and your microphone on and off. Now, it's totally up to you about the camera situation. Some students I know feel self-conscious, but if you want to emulate the real classroom experience, just pop your camera on, do your hair before, put your makeup on if you want to. But that's a really good option for you. We ask that you keep your microphone muted unless we're cold calling, or unless you want to ask a question or anything like that. It just means that everyone can hear the teacher and there's no background noise. But all the instructions are there in the letter. If you've got any problems or any concerns, do drop me an email or tag me on our team on chat, and I'm happy to answer them. But ask anyone that's had one. Already they're making such a difference to lockdown, and people are feeling like they're learning loads from them, so hopefully you can all benefit from them. We have had some lesson superstars this week, and I know daily Miss Vernon is really good at posting her student of the day, and this is always a student with the most points. So it's been really good to see some names there like Eldiandre, Katie and Evie, and I know every week we get the same names cropping up as well, like Christy, Caitlin, so it's really good to see. But I'd love to see some different names next week. Already today there are some different names cropping up, so it'll be interesting to see who wins today's. Also, I wanted to highlight Bethany in Miss Williams' English class. Miss Williams was so blown away by her work, and it's just lovely to see some handwritten work, because I know we spend a lot of time on the screen, and that's a really good thing for you to do if you have chance, is to do a bit of handwriting, just to have a little break away. It means you can go away from your laptop or your tablet and just have a go at the work. So huge well done, Bethany. That's all I have to share for Lesson Superstars this week. Now, I don't think that's because we haven't got some brilliant work going on, because I dip in and out of your lessons all the time on Teams, and I can see some amazing work. And I'd love to see some more next week, so send us some pictures, tag us on Twitter. Obviously we're at AHS Year 9, post it in the Teams. If you do a really good piece of work in one of your lessons, you can tag me, you can tag Mrs Brown, Miss Vernon, all of us, tag us so we can see it and give you loads of praise and points. I'd love to see more work on here because it's happening, but I want more people to be celebrating it. So please let us know and tag us in anything that you get up to that you're proud of. So we love rewarding you with reward points. Lots of you getting postcards home, lots of you being sent emails to ASL, so I'm getting loads of praise for you in your virtual lessons. But these students have made it to the top of the leaderboard for the first week back, and that is Christy, Caitlin, Chloe, Jake, Jovan, Evie, Tamsin, Eldiandre, Amy and Matta. So a huge well done. You hit the ground running after half term and had a fantastic start back to virtual school. I already know though that next week's points are going to be a lot higher than these. We've had way more of you online, way more of you engaging and doing fantastic things. So let's see who's on top next week. Also, a final well done to the top form, and that is Miss Foster's form 9D. So if you're in Miss Foster's form, you are really, really impressing in all of your subjects. So big well done, and let's see if we can get a new form topping the rewards chart next week. So that brings me on to my student of the week, and as your ASL I get to see all of the brilliant work that you do across virtual school. Now there's always lots of students I could pick for this, but I'm going to pick a student this week who links to the theme of resilience, which was my target for you last week based on my assembly. So this student has been extremely resilient throughout virtual school and is being extremely resilient this week. And I want to say a huge well done to them. They are online all the time, they always try their best, and they're not afraid to ask for help as well. So I just want to really recognise and say a huge well done to Oliver P. Well done, Oliver. I'm really, really proud of you. And then we have our head of year student of the week. So Miss Brown has been in and out of lessons this week and seen some of the brilliant work that you've been getting up to. And she would like to recognise this student for being prepared, for always being online, being ready to learn, and for being a really polite and respectful student. So a huge, huge well done to Lily. Well done, Lily. And we will leave it there today. I'm going to let you head off and have your lunch this Friday afternoon, and I hope you have a lovely one. I have got some thinking points for you before you do go, and I want you to think about these over the course of your lunch and this afternoon. How can you make the most of the live lessons that are on offer? So they've already begun, as I've said. We've seen them in maths, we've seen them in your open subjects and even in English. So these are going to become more regular. How can you make the most of them? Is it that you need to make sure you've got your notepad to hand or your exercise book, you've got a Word document? Is it that you make sure you set an alarm to get up to ensure you can make the most of it? Because remember, these staff will deliver these lives to whoever is online. If there's one of you, great. If there's 15 of you, even better. If there's a whole class full. Now, people are going to be going on them, so you don't want to miss out. You want to make sure that you are there receiving the best education that you can from the members of staff that teach you. So have a little think, and if you've got any questions, you know where I am. And that leads me on to the second one, because those live lessons are the best thing that you can do in response to this. How could you prepare for year 10 in September? So as I've said, not long to go at all. How could you prepare for year 10? Is it that the live lessons need to be your priority? Is it that you need to start focusing on certain subjects you've neglected a little bit? Is it that you need to ask for more help from your teachers, from me as your ASL, or Miss Brown as your head of year? So have a little think about those, and do get in touch if there's any questions that you have or any ideas that you have. Have a lovely weekend, Year 9, and I will see you on Monday.